Hi, so it's me again. My name is Afi. I'm back again with another video. Um, so today's video is, I think I'm going to title it "How I Moved On and Into God's Arms." Um, and so this is a bit like relationship sort of based, but it's more about like finding myself and just being happy with myself and just yeah, basically. So first of all, I'm going to start with a disclaimer. This is a very hard video for me to film. Yeah, I don't even know if it's going to make it to the channel, but you know, just give me a bit of grace. Anyway, so I just thought of starting this story because it's going to be sort of like a story about my life. Just starting when I was younger and how when you grow up and you're a teenager, all you want is like human connection, and more than that, as a girl, all I wanted is to be seen by guys. And so that's basically how I spent most of my teenage years, just like guys hitting on me and me being like, oh my god, that's so nice. Like I absolutely love that you love me. Okay, maybe not love, that's a bit deep, but like I absolutely love that you like me. So that was like my whole teenage life, honestly. And so I just think like throughout that time, I was never actually in a relationship, but I was always dealing with heartbreak. Like literally, I was either dealing with heartbreak or I was dealing with like boy drama but like I'm just gonna tell you, I have never been in a relationship before. Yeah, so it's very rare that every single time I'm having like a relationship issue and I'm always telling my friends, oh, this happened, this boy did this, oh my god, blah blah blah. And I mean, it was a bit ridiculous. Now that I look back, I'm like, why was I having relationship issues with boys that weren't even my boyfriends or even trying to be my boyfriends? Anyway, um, again, if I'm looking down, I have notes written down as usual. Okay, so I realized that every single time, like, to be honest, I'm not even gonna try and toot my own horn, but I've always been like sort of like more mature than people, right? But then that's like attributed to the fact that in my family, the way I grew up, I had to grow up very, very fast. So it was that kind of thing where I was a child, but I was also growing up really fast. So it was like a tug of war of that kind. So I was always like looking for older guys and always attracted to older guys and stuff like that. And until today, I'm just like, I look at boys my age sometimes and I'm like, wow, I don't know what's happening there. So anyway, but like of course we're giving them grace. People all grew up at their own time and everybody connects with different people. So that's just the thing. Anyway, um throughout my life I noticed also that like speaking to boys was it was like comforting to me. It was like I always had a boy I was speaking to, or yeah, so I always had a boy I was speaking to, a boy I was interested in, a boy that was interested in me. um yeah, and there was always that, and I was just like, and so it was literally like a constant cycle of that. And I realized that throughout this whole time that I was always having boys speaking to me, my faith was like challenged. If you haven't watched my video, My Faith Journey to Faith, I would recommend that you watch that video. I think this will make more sense after you've watched that one, but just watch it after this you know anyway. So yeah, I think these two videos go together. Actually, I hadn't thought about that. Anyway, yeah, so during this whole time, like, of course, I was always like, yeah, I believe in God. And for some reason, I was always the holiest person these boys had ever met. Literally, like, I was the holiest. They were always like, I feel so holy, I can't understand. But in my heart, I was like, well, I don't think I'm that holy, and I always said it. I was always like, I'm really not that holy, to be honest. Like, I am absolutely like, I can't explain to you how not holy I am. But that was basically it, and that was like my whole teenage life, to be honest. From the time I was like 13, 14, 15ish, to literally 19. That was like last year, guys. Oh, so recent. Anyway, um, yeah, so that was all happening, and at this point I was still like just hiding my insecurities, and I never actually dealt with myself, and I never had like that situation where it was like I have to deal with me not being perfect and stuff like that. I was always just feeding into these people telling me that I was so holy and stuff like that. And it's like even my friends are like, I feel you're like really, really holy. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm really not that holy. But, I was always feeding into the stuff that people told me, like, you're so holy, you're so good, we've never met somebody as good as you, and stuff like that. And I was just thinking, like, in my head, I was always like, I have a whole church full of people that are holy. I, and there I feel like I am like at the bottom of the pile, literally. If I go to church, I feel like I'm the worst. And so it was always like a contradicting thing where it's like one day I'm hearing somebody telling me, oh, hallelujah, you're so holy. And then the other day I'm going to church and I'm feeling like scum, absolute scum. And so that was like my whole teenage years. And so 2019 was like a year that I think that was the year that sort of like shocked me. I needed 2019 to shock me into 2020. Um, and so, of course, I'm not going to go into the details and stuff like that because it's not, I mean, yeah, it's my story to tell, but it's also someone else's story. So I'm just like, no, I'm not going to feed into that. But like, anyway, 2019 was a very, very hectic year for me. And of course, it was like boy department kind of crazy. And yeah, so that was 2019. And I just remember by the end of that year, I was just like, I'm drained. Literally, I had absolutely no energy. And I look back at myself right now and I'm just thinking like I was really, really sad because what happened in 2019 broke me. Um, and it broke me, but like I wasn't whole either way. So it was like, it was a whole situation where I was like, I can't, like, I don't know what to do. So by the end of the year, I'm just like, 2020 is going to be absolutely better. And so in 2020, I made a decision to end something, and that was just a thing for me. Like, literally, I think it was like sometime in January, I was like, my birthday's in February, and I was like, before I get to my 20th birthday, I need to be like done with this situation, and I need to be done with it. So that was basically it. And even then, when I recognized that I was not in a good place, I still, it's like there was a whole tug of war because then I started watching towards the end of 2019. I started watching a lot of sermons. I started watching a lot of like faith-based couples, but that became a lot in 2020. It was like just basically faith-based individuals, whether it was couples or like just one person. I was just watching a lot of faith-based stuff. I was listening to a lot of gospel music. I was watching sermons almost every other day. I was just like something must happen in my life, something must change, but I didn't know what and I didn't know how. So there was a lot of that happening. And so, like, through this whole time, I was still sort of like, I don't know, because I think I'm like, so I'm still processing things, but basically, I just realized like I'm really, really nice to people, and sometimes when I'm nice, I form connections with people that I don't want to form. And so that really, like, that has been something I've struggled with for so long. It's like, I'm nice to people, I form connections. I don't want to form them, but I've already formed them. I'm already sucked into a whole thing where now my heart is there and I'm like, oh my God, I can't let go of this. Oh my God, oh my God. And so that's one thing I really struggled with. It was like letting go of things and just being like this isn't for you, just let go. This is not your situation, just let go. This person hurt you, just let go. um that kind of thing. So that I struggled with that so much for so long, honestly. Like throughout my teenage, it's always been a thing, honestly. Now that I think about it, I'm like, why wasn't I letting go of this situation? What was keeping me there? That kind of thing. It's been like so long of that, and I'm just like, truly, it's something I needed to learn how to do. And so um I so when quarantine began, I was so devastated, first of all, because I was like, oh my God, I wanted to finish my exams. That was like my first problem. It was like I had exams, I hadn't finished them, and I had hoped that I would finish my exams and then the president would be like, okay, close schools and stuff like that. That's a joke. It was a very big joke. So I was just like at home there, and I was like, oh my god, I didn't finish my exams. Now I have nothing to do. I don't know what to do because I'm in the middle of a semester and I'm blah blah blah. And there were so many things happening in my head, and I was feeling so sad. And so I had 2 weeks of that, to be honest. There was like 2 weeks when I was a sloth. Like I can't explain it to you. I used to wake up, watch stuff. I think it was like movies even, and I don't even enjoy movies and series to be like not that much. So that time I was just watching stuff. So for 2 weeks I did that, and then but even during these 2 weeks, I just remember always gravitating to like YouTube videos about like couple based, Christian couple based, and like faith related stuff, and I was always gravitating into that, and my conversations with my friends were also leading to that. There was people I wasn't talking to a lot of people at that time, but the people I was talking to, it was like mainly centered on faith and stuff like that. And that basically like just led me to it was like God telling me, are you ready to come to me now? Like what are you doing? You, like you have all the time in the world. What are you doing now? It was that kind of thing where it was like God saying, now is a better time than any because what else do you have to do? You're not in school. Of course, you're not going to read for school. I don't condone that, but still, I'm human. But of course, you're not going to read for school. So what are you going to do? Just watch stuff all the time? I mean, come on, you know. So that was when like I made the decision to basically be more intentional with my faith, and it was like a time when I was just telling God, like at that point when I started praying, I was like, God, I'm listening to you. So now I'm here. Now I'm here, and my intention is to learn about you, and my intention is to basically just like understand your heart, understand where you're coming from, just pray to you for you, kind of. It wasn't even like deliver me or anything. It was more like just I just want to learn about God at this point, and what better way to learn about God than just create like a prayerful kind of life and a prayerful kind of environment for myself. So that's exactly what I did. It was just like I created this whole thing where I would um read the Bible and another faith-based book. I would pray, I would journal as well. And the journaling thing, oh my god, I can't tell you how much journaling has helped me. Like I can't explain it to you. I feel like I've always done it, but it's always been like I write stuff when I am sad or when I'm happy. And that was it. And it was that and basically I would only remember to write maybe like once in like 6 months or once a year. During like the beginning of every year, I would always write like stuff for 20, like for the previous year, yeah, stuff that I've learned, what I've gone through, stuff like that. I think I did that from 2017 actually, stuff that I learned from the previous year, and then what I'm looking forward to in the next year. And I did that from 2017, and so like I've always written down my thoughts and my feelings and stuff like that, but I've never actually been very consistent with it. And I've never been like, oh yeah, let me do this and let me journal and let me do it regardless of like whether I'm having strong emotions or not. And I've learned how to write even though I'm not feeling strong emotions, which has been so helpful to me, to be honest. There's days that I don't really have much to write, so I'll just write some things. I'm like, okay, so this is what I did today, blah blah blah. And as I journal, I basically, it's like I'm writing to God, but to myself. And so it's a whole thing where it's like I journal to process things and I journal to just learn, that kind of thing. So, anyway, 2020 and my moving on into God's arms has been great. I think I've done like 3 months now, 3 months, maybe 2.5, something like that. I think it's gonna be 3 end of June, and I know it's like so. What is it called? So young. Yeah, it's really really young. Being like my intentionality with this, like I've been believing in God my whole life. Definitely. I've always had God in my life. I've always had like the thought that I'm God's temple and my body is God's temple. So I'm very careful with what I do with my body. I'm very careful with what I do basically just everything that I do, I'm so careful about that because I've always thought about my body as God's temple. But then being intentional in my faith and like reading and praying and literally like, you know how when we're young I was always told like when you wake up you need to say a little prayer, blah blah blah, and I've always done that, but I feel like it's been new and fresh now because I take like 5 minutes and I'm like, I'm going to intentionally pray and not just say thank you God for life, because thank you God for life is absolutely great, but there's so much more to be thankful for. And I think this week I've been the most thankful. Every single day I write in my book, I'm always just like, I'm so grateful for this and I'm so grateful for this, and there's just been so much to be grateful for. And so yeah, that was how I moved on into God's arms. And this was basically just to, this is a very long video today actually, but this was basically just to say that I, like God literally called me to Him, and it was the best thing that I ever did to listen. And I just want to encourage anybody who feels like God is calling them, like just answer. Just answer God's call. Like it's so simple. And to be honest, I realized that everything that I was doing, even since last year, even when I was going through the hardships, and even when I was going through like really, really hard things, and even when I wasn't being intentional with my faith, everything that I did then sort of like led me to where I am now. I can't say that like all of a sudden I woke up one day and I was like, hallelujah, I'm going to be intentional. No, I realize now that like all the sermons I was watching from last year, all the like faith-based couples I was watching, everybody who's talking about faith that I was watching and listening to gospel music and even joining the church band, even like just doing things like that. All those things that I did that I didn't know why I was doing them. It was like I had a gift and I was like, let me use it. Why not? But all those things that I did, I think led me to the decision that I made this year. And I think it's a decision I could have made at any point, but this was a perfect time to make it because I have so much time to just be in the Word. Like I can't explain to you. I have so much time to be in the Word. And what being in the Word has done for me is it's sort of like taken me out of my life and just put me into God. And it's just like I focus all my energy into that. And so I'm not complaining, I'm not crying, I'm not being sad, even when I would be sad. Even like right now, it's such a new time for me because I have absolutely nobody that I'm talking to. But like it's very new and fresh, but it's more like just because I'm in God, like I'm with God. That's it. That's like, so even when I'm lonely and even when I feel like, oh my God, I wish I had somebody I was talking to, and why did I break that thing, and why did this happen, and how did I do that? I just remember that I'm like, this is for God, and I am with God, and I pray about it. And I'm just like, God, this is how I'm feeling right now. Just help me open my heart and things like that. And literally, like that has helped me so much. And so that's just all I'm going to say about how I moved on and into God's arms. And it was very interesting because I feel like sometimes we're always saying, like, when somebody moves on, like, I've seen a couple of posts that basically say like, if someone isn't talking to you, then they, like, if somebody isn't talking to you, then they've moved on to the next person, so just leave them alone. And I just realized that like I moved on to God and it was the best thing that I ever did. I feel like I would have kept moving on to different people and hurting myself, and just a whole cycle that needed to end. And so this was great. So I'm just gonna encourage everybody to move on into God's arms. And if you're in a relationship, congratulations. I'm so happy for you. I just hope that like God is speaking to you through that relationship and stuff like that. And if you're single, just keep seeking for God and keep seeking for answers from God. That's the best thing you could ever do, to be honest. Like if you have a question, ask God. God gives you answers. Like it's not even a joke. He'll give you an answer in one way or another, and it's the best thing to realize that your question has been answered. But more than that, even I feel like sometimes it like stop focusing on yourself so much. That's just something I've learned. Like I just need to stop focusing on myself and stop being so self-oriented, because that it's a destructive life. It's very, very destructive. So just yeah, move on to God, and I hope you have a blessed week. And yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, comment, like, share, and subscribe and all that good stuff. So see you next time. Bye.